Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Frank Lampard has been sacked. It's just, it's one of those things that I have been a supporter or a Lampard out person for a minute now, and I think it's important for us to kind of take a look at this holistically. I understand a lot of people are emotional right now, and it's one of those decisions that that will leave people hurt, disappointed in the board. But to be honest, I think if we remove the face and we remove the legend and we remove Frank Lampard from the situation and we put any other coach, people would be more than thrilled about this decision. People would have been asking for this decision months ago. I think especially after we lost to Arsenal, I think that was a sharp decline. And also I think it's important to, because a lot of people are talking about, he didn't have that much time, he should have been given more time, it's Frank Lampard, blah 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 blah, which is understandable. But at the end of the day, I think it's also important to note that, first of all, Frank Lampard had a full season or 2 seasons under his belt as a manager, coming into Chelsea. Number one, that makes him inexperienced. Again, if this was any other manager that was inexperienced when AWB was coach and he wasn't doing so well, we did look at the fact that he wasn't that experienced, especially at the top level. So it's important. Also, the second thing after we look at Frank Lampard being inexperienced is the fact that the team did not have an identity. He chopped and changed a lot. I mean, there were various reasons why he did what he did, from injuries, that's understandable, but even when the team was fit, there was a lot of chopping and changing, and we didn't really, no one could honestly tell what the best Chelsea 11 is right now, and there's 19 games to go for the rest of the season. I think it's important for us to also look at those facts and and respect Frank Lampard enough to judge him as a manager. Yes, I understand his history. I felt the same. When it came to Mourinho. But the truth is, when it came to Mourinho, we understood that there was, at some point, the way Chelsea was playing was becoming stale and it wasn't working anymore, hence why he got the sack. Again, like I said in previous videos, I honestly don't think any player is bigger than the club. Although this board has shown from the beginning, from the time Roman Abramovich came in, the club has become more of a business than anything more, and we have to also, and that's another thing that I'm seeing a lot of these reaction channels having this almost like emotional read. There's one guy, I'll post his picture somewhere, he's very strange. I was watching his video and he was talking about how he thinks the board is mindless and they don't have any emotion, there's no romanticism with them and all of this stuff. And it's like, yeah, there isn't, because when that same board is pushing out 200 million to buy the next Kai Havertz and Timo Werner and all those things, that same board doesn't have any romanticism. It's all about business, right? So you need to be able to say, okay, on one hand, the reality is the board has to do what the board has to do for the best of the club. I think anyone, I would ask any person at the top of Chelsea Football Club to put the club first before any person, before any manager, and I think that's what they've done today. I think we all love Frank Lampard. We love Frank Lampard, the player. He led us to a Champions League final, like I said in my previous video. Frank Lampard, the player, was great. Frank Lampard, the player, will never change. I don't think any Chelsea fan would tell you that has changed. A lot of people are sad, a lot of people are hurt, and it's understandable. But at the end of the day, there needed to be a change, and I think it came a bit late, to be honest. And and it's just one of those things where we need to be able to remove emotion out of this, and I think people will after a while. And yeah, Thomas Tuchel is coming in. I'm not a fan of him because I don't think he's the right man for the job. But I think in whatever he comes up with, there's going to be a lot more of an understanding of Chelsea Football Club identity. I think he's going to pick the players that should be performing. I mean, at the end of the day, if we get to a point where the new coaches come in and he's set in an identity and the players are still not performing, we can say, like, we can point at those players and say, listen, like, they're not performing. That's what happened with Kante. After he won the league the second season, things weren't working as well, and the stories were coming out that he was going to be fired. But in honest truth, that wasn't his fault. The players weren't there, and everyone saw that. So we're able to see when players aren't doing what they need to do, and when the coach is just not right for the moment. Hopefully, I mean, we saw Mourinho come back maybe in a few years when Frank Lampard has gotten more experience and he's able to come back. I think John Terry might be another option, but I think for now the important thing is to get the top four, try our best against Atletico Madrid. I don't know how if he has enough time from now until the match against Atletico Madrid. But hopefully we see an improvement. We see an improvement in the way the football's being played. I'm not expecting for us to go top of the league in the next 2-3 weeks. No, I understand this is going to take time. It's a process. But I hope to see an identity. I hope to see a comfort in players in the way they play. I hope to see that each player gives it their all and understands the philosophy of the coach and tries their best to put that out on the field. Again, it's unfortunate that Frank Lampard has to go. Like I said, again, Frank Lampard will always be number one of our greatest players. So whenever I think Frank Lampard, I think Drogba, I think John Terry, I think Champions League in Munich. I even think Champions League in Russia. Unfortunately, the way things happen and John Terry slipping and all of that. But there's so many great memories that Frank Lampard has given this club, and it's just, I think it's better that this happens now. Before it got to a point where even his die-hard fans started having an issue with Frank Lampard, because now everyone, we can point fingers at the board, we can point fingers at Roman Abramovich, and we can say, how dare you do this, all of that. But if this had carried on, even his strongest fans and people that are crying on the internet right now would have turned their back on Frank Lampard. And it's better that it happens this way than it happens down the line. Anyway, guys, it's sad times, but we look forward to new beginnings, and hopefully we start off on a good foot against Wolves on Wednesday. And I will see you then for that. Remember to like, subscribe, and do all of that, and I will see you later. Peace.